Hello there, my beautiful internet and you fantastic creatures of the beyond. Hope you're doing fantastic today, as usual. So let's talk about time, because we always say, we don't have enough time to do what we want. But in reality, we're just not in the mood to do it. Like, we are this type of animal that we are constantly seeking for pleasure activities. Like, we want food, we want to procreate, we want to sit cozy in our comfortable beds. And we don't want to do much of anything else usually when we have to put the effort. But we love to distract ourselves with our phones, with movies, and whatever else. We just sacrifice so much time to these useless activities. Well, not necessarily useless because we still learn something from them, but it's like wasted time because we can manage our time so much better. And I don't mean all of the time. We don't need to be psychos. We don't need to do things from the moment we wake up to the moment we fall down into our beds, you know? And obviously I'm not a life coach to give you whatever a plan on how to decide your life. Clearly I'm just a mental panda on the internet. But I can share you some tips and trips. Tips and trips. Tips and tricks, I mean, that help me in the long run, you know, on how I manage my time. And the things that I want to do. But the key thing here is that something that I want does not automatically equal to something that I like doing. But it can be if we fine tune it to the right frequency. So time is relative because time is relative, but it is relative because of your perspective. So if you're bored out of your mind and you just want to hit your head on the wall, obviously 1 hour will feel like 5. But if you're having a lot of fun, 1 hour will just disappear in a blink of an eye. So how do you combine the wants with the likes? Well, clearly you have to make sort of a plan. But a plan to trick yourself and to lure yourself into a trap, into a devious fun trap actually. Because we are sneaky. We love to sabotage our own plans, you know? But if we observe ourselves, we can start to anticipate our behaviors. And we can create sort of like this alluring bait that we will not say no to. And for some is maybe sweets, for others is music, for whatever. You choose your poison. But for me, I realized that my mind is super fresh when I wake up. And I really have a lot of energy that I could jump through a wall. It's like I'm instant coffee when I open my eyes. And weirdly enough, I do not drink coffee. So I do sort of like 3 things when I wake up. 1, I have my Rubik's Cube, the 3x3. And I love to do that at least once a day because it really keeps my mind sharp and it trains my observation skills. But this is just a fun game for me. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes to complete. I know I could do it much faster, but I just like to take my time. I like to enjoy it. Sometimes I just like to focus on it. Sometimes my mind wanders, but I still stay focused on the task until I finish it because I know that when I complete it, it's like a mini achievement for me, you know? It's like today I've completed it a millisecond faster than yesterday. Or maybe a millisecond later, it doesn't matter. It's just an activity that I enjoy. Then I brush my fangs. And then I just jump into the activity that I want to do. And I dedicate about, I don't know, 15 to 30 minutes to that activity. But knowing myself, I tend to go up to 45 to 50 minutes because I do like to dig around and I find interesting things, but I still try to my best to stay on the task. I don't try to like open a movie or do something else that distracts me from the main activity. So, for example, if I'm researching something and I find an alternative path to doing it, I invest some more time into that because it's like unraveling a puzzle, just like the Rubik's Cube, you know? But my mind is like on coffee mode, you know? It's like, oh, I really like this. It's fun, it's tricky, it's sleek, it's sexy. Ooh, I love it. And it's mainly related to your curiosity, if you think about it. If you make your curiosity seek something fun, it will go further and further. And I tend not to look at the clock unless I really need to do an activity later on, but I tend to base my time on the internal clock, you know? And when I feel like, oh, this is enough for today, because I have a saturation point like everybody else, then I just stop it, and I know that I'll continue maybe tomorrow, or maybe later on in the day if I don't have anything else to do and I can insert another 50 to 30 minutes or so in my free time, you know? Because sometimes, if you really enjoy an activity, you tend to want more of it, you know? You don't get enough. But you have to say, hey, stop. I have other things to do, like taking a shower, eating, and, you know, fun things. Now, the tricky part is making it fun. And I don't know. The best solution is just to do activities that improve you. So clearly don't do something that you only do once and then you don't need to do it again or use it a very few times. So you have to kind of ask this question, do I really need this? Do I really want to invest the time into this? So let's take a topic like CSS, learning CSS. If you're just gonna use it in one project, well, it's much easier to just copy paste an entire thing and forget about it because you're not gonna spend too much time doing other things with it, developing your own ideas, prototyping and things like that. But if you really want to learn it, then go with the basics. And after you're past the basics, that will take you maybe a day or two, you know, because the basics usually entail 10% of the whole learning experience, but they're the most important part. It's like the dough that makes the whole project come to fruition. And once you're past that sluggish basics, because you have to, you know, learn to walk before you run. That's the saying. I hate that saying. I don't know why. I like to roll. I like to be weird. But after you get past that boring part, the fun starts, you know, because basically it's an adventure where you stumble around. You make your own rules then. You're the architect. And clearly you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, but they're gonna be your mistakes and you're gonna learn a lot from them. Obviously it helps to learn from other people's mistakes as well, but yours are the most valuable. As long as they're not fatal, obviously. And your mind is stimulated when you surprise yourself, because sometimes you just doubt you can do something, you know? But when you achieve it, you're like, damn, I didn't know I could do this. Just do a happy dance, or you treat yourself with a cake, or whatever, you know? And you can also pair this activity of learning with something chill, like listening to music, or I don't know, sitting inside your bath in warm water. As long as you don't drop the laptop or the phone inside, it's all good. don't electrocute yourself, you know, otherwise you're gonna have fizzy hair. But the most important thing, as I said, don't distract yourself with other funny things like movies and talking on the phone or whatever. Just dedicate that time. It is your sacred time. It is the personal time that you invest in yourself. And nobody should take that away from you, because I don't know, it's, you can think of it like you're getting an upgrade, and it's a slow process that you have to burn through, but burn it nicely, you know, like a candle. And once you get that upgrade at the end, it's gonna feel fantastic. You're gonna feel like bionic. So I kind of associate these tricks with playing games, like actual video games. Like if you ever played a single player game or an MMO, you don't even realize how much time you spend on, or you dedicate by learning those crazy hacks to give you that advantage, that edge to defeat the mechanics of the game. And or to get an advantage in PvP, you know, against your opponents. And you go to the lengths of even learning mathematical formulas, or formulae, I think is the plural. Anyway, the thing is that you become competitive then. But you don't necessarily become competitive with other people as much as you become competitive with yourself, because you want to prove yourself that you want to achieve that end goal, and you're gonna do anything to do it. And you don't think about the process itself. Like for example, in the case of learning the tricks on how to defeat a game or an opponent in PvP, you spend a lot of time in forums or chats or Discord or whatever, learning from other people, veterans with experience under their belt, you know, and you learn from their mistakes there, and you try to apply it to yourself. You look for shortcuts, clearly, but sometimes those shortcuts are not enough, and your mind is stimulated to want to know, to learn something that gives you that extra boost, you know. So you do invest extra time afterwards if you find something unique that not many people know about. And I think that applies to art in general, because even playing the game is an art in itself, you know? You try to do that unique thing that no one else does, or you try to do something that very few people are able to. And that makes you special in a way, or more appreciated. And clearly you want the feedback of other people, because without feedback, it's not enough to improve your work. And when I say feedback, I don't mean in a narcissistic way to make you feel good about yourself, but it actually is that constructive criticism that pushes you to refine your work, to fine-tune it, and to make it even more unique. Because we get influenced by the world around us and the people around us, and sometimes our perception becomes so acute to what we are focused on that we accidentally stumble into a funny mistake that makes it so amazing that everybody will say just, wow, how did you do that? And you'll be like, well, it was so stupid, you would laugh. But you still did it, you know, because you wanted to get that edge. Now, related to time, because we always are running out of time. You will always find 5, 15, 30 minutes that you can allocate. You just need to create that mood. And for some people, maybe it works very well at night when everybody's sleeping. You have the night all to yourself, it's quiet, it's pleasant, it's chill. You can put awesome music in the background. Sometimes I like meditative music in the background, you know, or synth music, or whatever I'm in the mood to. And I just start doing art or whatever. The only disadvantage is that clearly I'm gonna burn the night out, and then in the morning I'm just gonna be a zombie. And I'm gonna lose the light, the daylight, and maybe in that daylight I want to spend time with other people or doing outside activities. Well, maybe you can do them at night as well, but depends on the people you spend time with and what activities you want to do outdoors in the middle of the night. Maybe you're a vampire. Congrats. That's awesome. But nevertheless, your life, your rules, as usual. As long as you know how to insert that time to have fun and to learn neat tricks to craft the things you want to develop, it's all good. Well, hope you enjoyed my little rant here, and I wish you a pleasant day or night, eclipse or apocalypse, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Stay awesome. Bye 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 bye.